Oh, what's up, people?
Well, let me just fix the old. I'm using my phone, so quality isn't as good. Just switch.
All right. Hello. I'm gonna try this again. I tried streaming earlier today, and it didn't work very well. So round two. Where am I? You might ask. I'm in a hotel in Los Angeles. Why? I can't tell you. I mean, I can. I won't. Sorry. You'll find out. You'll find out in a few days to a week to a couple weeks. Somewhere in that time frame, I hope. Welcome, everyone. I will have to leave in just a second. I ordered room service. Never done that before. Moving up in the world. Well, wait. Just a little bit of waiting. I will keep talking, I guess. Fill the silence. Behind me, city. I don't know that much to say. Comcast, NBC, Universal. Right there. You can't tell. You can't see it. There's a bit of a... You know what? Let's see if I can fix that. There it is. You thought I was lying. Anyway. So. Yes. There's really no point to this stream. There's not an organized train of thought. Rarely is in the old noggin of mine. But I felt like with the upcoming Dewitte news that you will find out about in whatever that time frame is, I feel like we should have a little bit of discussion about him. Maybe. So, is Jeremy Dewitte in jail? No, Jeremy Dewitte is not in jail. He paid off his bond or bail or whichever one it was. So he would have been in jail, but he managed to cough up some money. And yeah, is the reason I'm in California due to Motor One? Isn't that an interesting question? I can't answer that. I mean, I can again, but I won't. You'll find out. But California, that's pretty far from Florida. What would I be doing here about Jeremy Dewitte? I don't know. It's crazy. Who knows? Interesting. Anyway, did he get his tow truck? Last time I checked, he was selling off all of his equipment and vehicles. So, yeah, it's things are he's struggling right now. I think not only because his business is getting hit from the bad publicity, but he has a lot of legal fees. A lot of legal fees. There's in Orange County, he's facing 11 felonies, and that's not including the misdemeanors or traffic offenses. Osceola County, he's facing at least one felony. That's not including traffic offenses. There might be other counties that he's gotten in trouble in. Chicago, I don't know if that's been resolved yet, but that would have definitely cost him money. That's the one where he was throwing chairs from the balcony of the third story. Yeah. So, did his wife ever have a baby? He's made that claim a lot that she's pregnant. So either she's popping them out, or she's hasn't had it yet, or she's not pregnant, or she has just had it and I haven't heard about it. Oh, give me a second. Give me a second. Yes, go on.
Year before I was born. 159.
Same year. I was not around for it, but I hear good things.
The year the Dodgers came down? Yeah,
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, now's the part of the stream where we get to watch me eat. That's the best part. What I miss? It's not the best part. It's the best part for me. Likely still 6 months pregnant. Oh my goodness. Can we just appreciate this for a second? Look at this. I don't. I just want to keep it. It's so adorable. I kind of have to keep it. Gosh, that's adorable. All right. Uh, has he skipped the country? Not to my knowledge. I have reason to believe that he has not skipped the country, which I will not elaborate on. Oh, boy. Oh, yes. Ooh. Let me tell you. All right, sorry, I'm very distracted. All right, Prego, some group. Yeah, she did have the baby. Interesting. What's shaking? Bacon is shaking. What's up? Or is it illegal to run a siren for funeral escorts? Yes, it is. Now you can use the horn. The horn, I believe, was decided was okay. It was a reasonable noise. See, the statute only protects against the statute that would cover sirens is only for illegal use for sirens or unreasonable noise, and it could be argued pretty successfully, I think, that using horns to ensure an intersection is clear for a funeral procession is reasonable. So that one, I think they're good, but the sirens, not okay. Jeremy has claimed that he doesn't actually use sirens. That audio has been added to the videos that. Oh, excuse me. I'm dying. It's not COVID. I just got tested. I am negative. Jeremy claims that real-world police adds the siren noises in afterwards. Employees have told me that that's not the case. If Jeremy is correct, then he should have no problem establishing that in court. So there's going to be a lot of stuff, a lot of claims back and forth between me and him and real world police, anyone else covering this, about who's really correct. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter because what happens in court is what's important. The only reason that we are important, the people commenting on this, is important to him anyway, is either his ego or influencing a jury. Now, I can't influence a jury on purpose, right? I'm not going to start contacting people in the jury pool and be like, hey, here's some money, or I'll hurt your family. No, that's very, very illegal. That's jury tampering. Don't quote me on that. But if they are familiar with this, and I hope they're not, because I am all for a fair and impartial trial, if they are familiar, excuse me, gotta move the old leg there. If they're familiar with this, then it could alter their opinion on Dewitte, which we don't actually want. I want him to have as fair a trial as possible in the interest of justice. So that's really the only reason he should be concerned about people like me making this commentary. But if he's found innocent in court, great. That's how the justice system works. I don't think he will. But if he's innocent, I hope that he's found innocent. If he's guilty, good luck. All right, I'm going to go back to your comments in just a second. But first, I got to open the most adorable bottle of ketchup I've ever encountered. This is the Hilton, by the way, in case you're looking for a hotel to stay in. It's been great so far. I've been here 10 minutes. That's not true. It's been closer to 30. But it is, it's delightful. I'm an influencer now. Okay. Gotta get my french fries and my dipping sauce. Oh. All right. Audio video of his victim being interviewed about sexual assault. It was heartbreaking. Yes, it was. It was not good audio. I have declined to comment on that in the interest of being unsure if it's real. Right? I'm not saying it's fake. I'm not saying I have any reason to believe it's fake. But because in the case involved a juvenile, it is sealed. There's nothing about that case that I can access without doing a significant amount of work that I'm not willing to do, because it's probably going to end up with just like, sorry, bud, no, you're not related to the case. There's no reason for you to have access to it. See ya. That's often what happens with juveniles. The victim was a juvenile. because I can't access the case, I can't verify that that story is accurate. I have zero information to fact check what was being said. So, while it might be correct, it might be true and accurate in the actual victim, in the interest of fairness, I have not been willing to sort of speak about it. And that will continue that trend, unfortunately. What else we got? Just feel sorry for his wife. My concern with his wife, I mean, he appears to be dating at the very least other women, and maybe she's okay with that. Some couples are, but if she's not, that I feel bad about, for her. Oh, you have a tiny little Tabasco? I have mayo and mustard in here as well, as far as these tiny little containers. It's so cute. I love it. All right, sorry. Rumor has it the judge told Jeremy to stay away from the internet for 1 month. I mean, that would be smart. My opinion is that if he had just not done anything and just radio silence, this would have gone away. I mean, he'd still be facing charges, but he wouldn't have people like me talking about it. When the charges were brought against him, he went to his local news station. He made this huge. He went out of his way to draw attention to it because he's just like, well, I'm being unfairly targeted. Now, is that true? It doesn't really matter, honestly. I don't think so. You know what? Let me break it down to you. Hold on. I might have stuck my face with French fries. Here's the claim. Jeremy Dewitte, having done this funeral escort service stuff for 10 years, thinks that right now the police are unfairly targeting him. They're following him. They're making stuff up. I don't know. They're doing things that he's not happy with. He thinks it's some conspiracy against him. What I believe happened is that Sergeant Vidler and Officer Ogletree and everyone else who has their name all over this paperwork have been dealing with Jeremy for a while. They keep running into him. And the first time an officer runs into him and goes, hey, what on earth are you doing? Jeremy gets very aggressive and intense and goes, you better figure it out. I'm operating under this Florida statute that allows me to escort funerals, right? You're wrong to pull me over. You're taking me away from a grieving family. How dare you? Don't try to get yourself involved in something you know nothing about, right? You're a police officer. How do you not know the law? Like, what are you doing, right? And he does that or something similar, and they go, my bad. I didn't realize. I've never really looked at that law. It's because it's a fairly obscure law. And they let him go on his way and say, all right, just stay safe out there, bud. And in his mind, he's thinking, yeah, I got away with it because I was right. Because I'm right about this statute. When in reality, they let him go because they weren't familiar enough with him to challenge him on it. He's very good. His demeanor, his presence, very, very strong, right? It's something he's very good at. And an officer showing up not being very familiar with the statutes can be like, oh, okay, sure. And I'm sure Sergeant Vidler, Officer Ogletree, all those people had that situation happen enough times, had people go to them and be like, hey, have you met this Dewitte fellow? Yeah, I don't really know what's up with that. That they actually sat down and went over the statute and with fine-tooth comb and figured it out real quick. And now they're familiar with it enough to really stop him from doing all this stuff he's doing. That's what I think is happening. It's not that they're targeting him unfairly. It's that they're finally aware of what the statute actually is. Because now they're just sort of sick of dealing with him every once in a while. Are they following him? Probably. Is there anything illegal about that? No. It's, more proactive policing than anything. When you have someone that you know is committing crimes, even if they're minor traffic infractions, does it not make sense to follow them and then stop them from committing those crimes if they're, at whatever level they're at? Kind of makes sense, right? It's being fairly proactive. It's better to respond to it because you witnessed it than have to find him when someone calls it in. So, is that wrong for them to do? No. Not in a legal or professional manner, no. Is he upset about it? I'm sure he is. But even if there was a conspiracy, even if his claims that some of the officers are planning on running or opening their own funeral escort service, even if that's true, and even if it's true that they're going after him because they're trying to open up this sort of service of their own and they don't want the competition, it doesn't really matter that much And the reason it doesn't really matter that much is because he is committing those. Hold on. He appears to be committing those crimes. Uh, as someone who's gone over those statutes extensively, I think that they are absolutely correct to press those charges. If he's found innocent, great. If he's found guilty, great. But he appears to meet the elements of the crime. And even if they are planning on opening up a separate funeral escort service, it makes sense for them to still charge him with those crimes. Either way, because they're happening, potentially. I say potentially because he hasn't been convicted. That's my thought on it. That's my rambling. So, if instead of drawing all this attention to this incident, Jeremy had just sort of backed off and let it happen for a couple days and then just nothing else, I think he'd be fine. He'd be doing much better. I don't think his company is going to survive as it is. I think if they change the name and they change the practices, sure, but under the management of Jeremy Dewitte, I don't think it's going to survive. If he goes to jail over this, I assume he'll just sell all the assets and it'll be over. I can't imagine he'll be allowed to continue running this type of company. Delicious. Jimmy's got a lot of defectors? Yeah, probably because they're not being paid anymore. I've talked to some of the people who work for him, and they're saying there's just so much internet hatred right now. There's no reason to be associated with the company. Like, it's not paying. Or it's not that it's not paying. It's just things are a little challenging right now. And it's just there's not their best choice sticking around. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them are sticking around. Okay. Hold on, I gotta bite into this burger because it looks so good. Oh my god. That's a good burger. Ooh. Ooh. One of the best burgers I ever had, taste-wise. I've had some really big burgers I enjoyed, but that was because they were enormous. Germany has some good burger places because they're like, oh, American burgers are American. If you do it American, it has to be huge, and they just go nuts with the size of some of these places. It's great. All right, what else we got? Questions. Metro State just posted a video 5 hours ago. Oh, want to check that out. He never should have sirens installed in those vehicles. Yes, you are correct. But he purchased the entire police package. He didn't purchase the parts individually. If he'd purchased the lights and then the horns individually, sure. But he bought the whole thing. If he had the sirens and didn't use them, great. But he appears to be using them. Oh. Who's that guy? Can someone tell me who that guy was? Who was upset that I was drinking ridiculously from a glass on purpose? Look, I was doing it intentionally. JB. Oh, something. I hope he sees the stream and just loses it about me eating French fries. I don't know. He hates me so much because he's like, how dare you drink on stream like an energy drink? Because I was sipping it from the side as a joke because I was discussing my microphone's right there, so like I can't put my. It was a whole thing. Anyway, he got very upset, and I was like, okay, sorry, dude, that you feel that way, and he just lost his mind. Oh, it was so good. All right, 10 plus felonies, correct. It is definitely over 10. It's at least 11, 12 if you count Chicago, but I don't know if that one's still open. And then I think the 13th is Osceola County, and there may be more in other counties. It's like, oh, my back is getting all weird. All right, there we go. It's a long drive from Seattle to Los Angeles, so my back is a little mad. I get around 80. So, how long would be in prison if he is convicted of the maximum sentence for everything, and that time is served? Hold on, I'm just gonna be down here for a second. That time is served consecutively, as opposed to concurrently. Is that right? That sounds right. I could be wrong about that. The wording. Um, yeah, he's looking at over 80 years, possibly more. It, I think. Last time I looked, it was something like 83 years. I'd have to redo the math just to confirm. But, oh, there goes that french fry. Lots of french fry, folks. But they're not going to charge him with the maximum sentence and have him serve it one after the other. I think I heard that they were thinking about giving him 30. So when someone is charged with crimes and they go to court, the judge fills out basically a piece of paper or a spreadsheet or something that basically calculates how much time you should spend in prison, right? So do you have past convictions? Are you, is it a violent felony? Is it, there are all these things that determine what is recommended for the sentencing. Are you going to get the worst you can get, or are they going to be leaning on you? And it's really up to the judge, ultimately. There is a legal minimum and maximum. But within that area, the judge gets to decide, but there's usually paperwork that they do to determine what the recommended amount is. So I think the paperwork basically put him at 30, but they were giving him a plea deal that gave him much, much, much less, but also imposed certain strict conditions that would prevent him from continuing to run a company like this. Because it really, that's all they want is him to stop. Is he going to? I don't know. If he does stop with this company, I'm excited to see what he does next. Temporary insanity. I don't think that's gonna work for him. Hold on, I gotta bite this burger. It's too good. Oh, this is the best burger. Where am I? Los Angeles. It's pretty nice around here. A little sketch, though. Some of the areas. Lindsey Graham kept his Senate seat. Huh. That actually surprises me. It's election day, folks. We're hoping that things calm down a little bit after this election. We hope. No, Seattle's going to calm down. On Twitter, the Twitter account that mostly posts stuff like, here's what's happening in Seattle for the protests, blah. There's a Young Life, I don't remember what it is. They're basically like, look, these two old men, no matter who gets elected, it doesn't matter. We're going to keep destroying things. They didn't say it like that, but they're going to keep destroying things. I mean, I'm sure they're going to be out tonight just lighting things on fire. There's a picture of a ballot box on fire that they tweeted. I put it on one of them on my community page. I don't know if it was that tweet exactly. I think it might have been a response to that tweet that they posted. Doesn't matter. And that's where I'm like, look, guys, if you're going to say no streamers, the amendment that gives you the right to protest, the same one that gives me or someone like me the right to stream. Now I'm going to go back and stream it. I'm tempted to. When I get back to Seattle, we'll see. But I'm doing it from a distance, and if they come close to me, I'm running. I'm not letting them get close. Because there's every time I go out there, there's a stronger criminal element. It's bad. This isn't BLM anymore. These protests. It absolutely isn't. Who's going to win tonight? I don't know. Either way, I don't have to look at political ads anymore. So that's exciting. Can't wait for that. Trying to get the ketchup out. Come on, there we go. Yeah, get it. All right. What else we got, folks? He does like attention. You're absolutely right. Jeremy loves attention. Oh, the IRS. Yeah, I'm excited to find out what happens with the allegations about him not paying taxes. Rochelle, exactly. Even if he's being unfairly targeted, there's a reason for it. He's breaking the law, or he appears to. I'm sorry, he appears to be. He appears to be breaking the law. Operating without a license. Yeah, I don't think he has a license at the moment. I have a question to pose to you guys after I bite this burger again. Oh, it's so good. Jeremy likes to say that he's a state-certified agent. That's just a bunch of nonsense. He's not. So, what do you think he means by that? Anyway, I'm going to keep checking your messages. JP Pavilion, he don't. He doesn't answer emails anymore. He won't even answer me. And he reached out to me. I'm just reading through your stuff. Don't mind me. A RICO charge? Potentially, sure. I mean, there are so many. Look, I'm gonna give you guys a little secret. Right? There are a lot of charges he could get hit with that he hasn't. Mainly, and you're probably gonna hear me say this again in the future at some point. Foreshadowing. Jeremy Dewitte operates he advertises himself as a security company. And the company, Metro State, was originally a security company. And he made it a funeral escort company. That's the word I'm looking for. I believe it was owned by his mom, who could have a license for security. He cannot, because in the state of Florida, to run a security company, I believe you need a Class D or G license, and to get that license, you have to have not been convicted of a felony for 10 years. He was convicted of a felony in 2018 and 2012 maybe, and then like 2002. I don't know. It was he hasn't, since he was 18. He has not made it. I don't believe. I could be wrong about this. I don't believe he has made it 10 years without getting convicted of a felony. At no point could he have ever had the security license, but. Which is probably why he had switched to funeral escort. If you go to his website, right, and you go to the home page, Central Florida's Premier Protection. Doesn't say anything about funeral escorts. The very first thing, I mean, it does on the webpage, but the very first thing says Central Florida's Premier Protection. It sounds like security, right? Metro State officers also have countless hours of motorcade escort services to ensure, he used the wrong, I mean, the spelling is, I struggle every time, to ensure the safety of their charges. I talked to Dewitte about the spelling errors on his website and the fact that he's advertising himself as a security company. And his response was, oh, I'll get that fixed. I've never really looked at that website because someone else made it for me. I checked. The website's been up for since at least, December 11th, 2018, I used the Wayback Machine, and I found this exact version of the website, December 11th, 2018. Might have been up longer than that, but I can absolutely say without a shadow of a doubt, that's been up since at least then. That's almost 2 years. That's 1 year, 11 months, however many days, right? That's plenty of time to have looked at your own website. How has he gone almost 2 years and never once looked at his website? Right? This is the first thing that pops up in Central Florida's Premier Protection. If he looked at his website, he would have seen that and gone, interesting. But no, I think he's okay with this. I think he wants it to look like that. I told him this. He said, oh, I'll fix it. He has not. He has been a little busy, though. I'll give him that. He has been busy, but this should be on the top of his list, and you'll find out why. Let me see. All right, funeral motorcade. Funeral motorcade is like a sentence. It's not even it ends with a comma. It's like someone started and never finished it. And then to the right of that, he goes, VIP motorcade. We provide motorcycle escorts to individual groups, which you can't do unless it's a funeral escort. Corporate executives, which you can't do unless it's a funeral escort. Entertainers and private families in need of a safe and secure transportation from one destination to the other, which you can't do unless it's a funeral escort. And he also can't be security. He can't protect them. He can't escort them as security. All he can do is be part of a funeral procession with the lights on, basically. And I guess hold intersections. That I'll allow. Personally, I'm okay with that because there are people who cut into these things who don't know what's going on. It does make sense to pull off to the side and hold that intersection. I will allow that. It does not make sense to drive, way ahead of the procession, hold it until they arrive. No, that is not protected by the statute. The statute requires people in the procession to remain as close together as possible, right? As safely possible. Driving a few blocks ahead to hold an intersection is not as close as safely possible, which means that that vehicle is no longer part of the funeral procession, which means it's not protected by that statute, right? That's a huge issue. And I've told him the thing, and I've told Alec too, Alec Ringdahl. If you want to fix most of your problems, just slow down the procession. Just slow it down a little bit. You're going too fast. You're causing a lot of these troubles because you're going too fast. Literally slowing it down would solve most of them, right? But he can't provide this protection. Let's keep going. Let's look at other ways he calls himself security, basically. You guys, under events, weddings and wedding parties, charity runs, car shows, parades, and festivals. For wedding and wedding parties, he can do that. If he's parked on private property, well, maybe he can drive around private property if they allow it. If they want like a police-themed wedding, but they can't actually have police, okay. But it can't be on a roadway, and he can't be security. Charity runs, can't have the lights on. He can drive as part of a charity. He cannot have the lights on while driving, though, on a public road. Car shows, sure, he can enter a car show with his vehicles, I guess. Parades and festivals. Parades he can do if they have a permit to do it. Like, if there is a parade permit for the parade, sure, he can be a member of that parade, sure. Now, VIP protection. We offer elite personnel for VIP and executive protection. That's security. That is security. There's no doubt. In today's political climate, there is a growing threat of domestic terrorism and violence. Okay, so you're protecting people against that, is what he's advertising. There are also a number of risks that pose significant concern to high-profile individuals, such as celebrities and executives. So he's providing security, right? That's just the first page. It's the first page. And he claims, we use in-house security. Okay, he's allowed to do that. His in-house security can only protect his employees and his equipment. That is it. That's the only security they are legally allowed to do. If he's protecting other people or their equipment, now he needs a Class D license, which he cannot have. Now, I'm going to get more into that in just a second. Let's go to the employment tab of this. All right. Thank you for your interest in working for Metro State Special Services. We are a state provider of security solutions. We are a state provider of security solutions. That's the second sentence. He's advertising himself as security. And if you call the website, it's his phone number. If you call the website's phone number, the voicemail will say, thank you for calling, we are Florida's premier protection company, or something like that. Even on the voicemail, he calls himself a protection company or a security company or something. He is advertising himself as a security company. Now, the statute he's being charged with for as a police officer, and I hope Amir is watching this right now. I really do, because this is going to, if he isn't already aware of this, which I would hope he is, now's your chance, dude, to pay attention. This statute that he's being charged with for impersonating a police officer, impersonating a security guard, literally the same statute. Same one. Class C felony. The exact same number and everything. If I was, and you'll probably hear me say this again, if I was an incredibly ambitious prosecutor, knowing that probably not all these charges would stick, I would look at when that website could be confirmed to be operating December 11th, 2018, although he could subpoena more records, maybe from the website hosting service itself, to confirm, right? If I was still working in law enforcement, I might do that. I probably wouldn't, though. It wouldn't be worth it for the results. I could get plenty of results without doing that. December 11th, 2018, I would find out when every single funeral escort had happened since then. And I would charge Dewitte with impersonating a security officer, or impersonating security for every single one of those. I imagine that's a lot of charges. Now, I might not be able to get a conviction unless I contacted the funeral homes and got confirmation that they believed he would be providing some sort of security and protection in addition to just having the correct lights, right? Which he hasn't always had the correct lights. But if I was really ambitious, I'd do that. Just, if that was what I was going for. I mean, we don't really need to. He's got enough charges pending, right? But, hold on. Spurger's calling my name. I didn't ask Nathaniel, why aren't you in LA? We could be auditing Scientology right now. Unacceptable. Jeremy has refused plea deals in the past. Yes, if I was him, and I will not give legal advice. This is not legal advice. I can give legal recommendations. If I was him, in his position, I'd be looking at those plea deals pretty seriously. Because the longer he waits, and I've talked about this before, the longer he waits, the more he pushes to get a not guilty sentence, or whatever you would call it, the worse those plea deals are going to get. They're not going to be... Look, the purpose of plea deal is to say, look, are you guilty? If you're willing to admit you're guilty, because you're probably going to be found guilty, we will offer you a pretty good deal. Pretty good being subjective. We'll offer you a deal, right? You won't waste our time with this court stuff, and you'll get a better sentence. That's what's happening here. But if he's going to continue wasting their time, I say wasting their... Okay, look. A fair trial is very important, right? So I'm not going to actually say it's a waste of time. But, I mean, let me retract that previous statement about wasting time, right? If he wants to go through with this court case, they're going to be like, oh, okay. Well, there's no point in giving a really good plea deal to avoid going through the court stuff. Because we're going through the court stuff. It will only get worse from here unless he has some sort of mind-blowingly excellent defense, which I doubt. A lot. Really doubt it. But I'd love to see it. You know, it'd be some fascinating stuff. Is this court case via Zoom or in person? I think he's going to be there in person, I would assume. And I hope they record it. They should record it, right? I can't be there in person. I'd love to be in there in person for it. But, you know, COVID. They won't let me. But his old girlfriend did get a license at one point. But she is no longer licensed. She no longer has that company license. Regardless, it's not just the company that needs a Class D license. He individually, I believe, needs a Class D license, which she can't get. All right. What are some of the charges he could be hit with, but hasn't? The ones I just discussed: impersonating security, which maybe he already has. I don't know. They might have just listed it as impersonating a police officer, but meant security. Speeding in a... I talked about this in one of my streams. Speeding in a school zone. Speeding in general, really. School zone, you get hit. It's like the fines are doubled often. There's a lot of minor things, but a major thing would be that that security impersonation. Let me see. Let me see. No, sir. Let's go fast. Gotta go fast. Oh, LAPD. Laura, yeah. His son's LAPD. They are on tactical alert for riots. Yeah, what I heard is they're boarding up windows in places they think are going to get hit. Seattle is. They're starting to like really make arrests. So when this whole thing first started, they're trying to be pretty lenient and let it sort of burn itself out, which is fair. That is a strategy, and sometimes it is an effective strategy because when the protests are against police officers, them getting involved and making arrests is just going to reignite things because now people have new things to be angry about, and we see that a lot. There have been several police-involved shootings where either there was one where police officers shot a guy with a knife. There was one just recently while I was driving. Police officers were shot at and returned fire, and I think killed the guy, and there were protests over that. Um, there was something in D.C., which I'm planning on making a video about. I've requested body cameras for it, where police saw a guy riding a motorized scooter without a helmet, which you're required to do in Washington, D.C., tried to pull him over. He fled down an alley, hit a parked vehicle, and died. Now, that's what the police are saying, and so far, that's the evidence I've seen, the footage I've seen, seems to indicate that. That people are still upset that, oh, they pursued him, and they're not allowed to pursue in D.C. We're not sure they pursued him. It appears that maybe they just turned on their lights and he just shoot down an alley and sped into a car and died. There's a lot of wrong information about that. There are claims that the police went into the hospital and unplugged his life support, which is absolutely false. There are claims that they went after his mom and pepper sprayed her. Well, they did pepper spray her, but they didn't she wasn't specifically targeted. It was, oh, there's a riot happening. Everyone needs to leave. Oh, you're not leaving? Cool. Spray. That's what happens, folks. Look, if you're in a riot, you're probably going to get sprayed. It's not fun, I'll tell you. I had an entire incident filming where I got sprayed by a civilian, which I wasn't happy about. Then they stole my cameras. I get a lot of cameras stolen, don't I? If you walk aggressively towards a police officer with a knife, you're going to get shot, probably. If you shoot at a police officer, you're probably going to get shot. This should not be a surprise to anybody. Don't do these things. And then if that person does get shot, what are you protesting? I don't, anyway, I don't know. There's a lot. People just upset. It's, election season. It's almost over, thank God. I just want it to be done. COVID, people are getting stir crazy. This is something to do. It's nuts. Seattle protesters don't want to stop. Doesn't matter. They don't care. Like, elections? Nah, we're going to keep going. Here in LA, I don't know what's going to happen. But, yeah, sorry, let me get back to my original point. Seattle wanted it to just burn out. And they're like, all right, you want the Chaz chop? Businesses aren't going to suffer because it's COVID. They're all closed anyway. Okay, let it happen. We'll see what happens. We'll try to be reasonable. And it was a tactic. I don't blame them for trying. I think it's pretty neat that they tried. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can appreciate it for what it was. It didn't work, and now they're finally making arrests. Finally, I think personally they should have done it much earlier. But of course I do. I used to be a police officer. Still technically am, but I don't work patrol anymore. Sorry, French fries. Can't help it. But in Portland, I know they were arresting people in Portland and just letting them go without charges. That's not going to stop them. It's not going to stop. Of course, it's not going to get stopped by that. It's ridiculous. I don't know if Seattle's pressing charges to try to get people to stop. They're holding them in jail or what. It's just nuts. It's nuts. I'm not going to say that you are morally incorrect to do these things. I'm not gonna decide what's important for you. But I'm going to say you shouldn't be confused when there are consequences to your illegal actions. That's what I'll say. But I hope your son stays safe. I hope nothing happens. And if it does, I hope that he gets out just fine and he doesn't have to use any force on anybody. Let me see what's going on. He needs to take down the stuff on his website. He needs to. I get mad every time I see the Army and Marine uh, things on his website. Like, bro, stop it. Stop it. Also, his salutes make me angry. Also, he makes me angry. Mm. 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 I still listen to that EDM song, by the way, JP Lane, sometimes. That's great. Mm. 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 Oh, the bunny. Yes. Oh, when he's in the bunny suit. Oh. All right, hold on, guys. I gotta read. I gotta read through some stuff. Oh, the Metro Facebook. I don't think that's a real Facebook. He took his Facebook down. The Metro State Facebook that's up now, I don't think is real. I don't think it's run by him or his company. Speeding through construction zones. Yep, that'll get you a double fine. Born to be Free. You made it. Yeah, I saw that you missed the other one, which is fair. It was a short stream. Good to have you here. All right. I finally caught up. You know what that means? I get to enjoy my burger. It's got a whiskey sauce. It's just. Burgers are forever ruined for me now. I can't ever have a not amazing burger now. It's a problem. You guys got questions while I'm here? Might as well answer them. What are your questions? Anyone have a thought? Anyone figure out what he meant by saying he's a state certified agent? I'll tell you what I think it is. Let me know if you think this is sounds about right. So, state certified and agent. We can separate those two things. Where state certified, I'm guessing he means a business license, which I don't think he has anymore, honestly. Pretty sure it expired. But state certified could mean, oh, I have a license that's certified by the state, so therefore it's state certified. And then agency could absolutely refer to, you can call that business an agency. Technically, it does fit the definition. And so if it's an agency, then he can be an agent. So a state certified agent would just literally be an employee of a company that has a business license. It's not technically wrong. It isn't. I tried. I tried to figure it out, and I looked into. Well, Rennie, my mod, went through it for me and read them to me while I was driving. And I tried to be like, I figure out a way that it wouldn't work, but no, it absolutely applies. But yeah, as you're saying, he just plays with words that sound official. Absolutely, absolutely, and I think we're gonna hear more about that pretty soon. There are some claims that he said some things similar about it. Sort of trying to explain himself, but I'm not going to ruin the surprise. And then if those claims don't ever see the light of day, I don't want to be like, yeah, that's a thing. I'm totally for realsies. But I think he's just using words in a way to make it confusing. And let me remind you all what the problem is with impersonating a police officer, right? Let's put myself in a scenario. Here I am, driving down the road, and someone's stopping me, right? They're directing traffic. Hey, you gotta go this way, you gotta go that way. They're in a police car with a weird colored lights. I've never seen those lights before. What does that mean? But the guy looks like a police officer. So just to figure out what's going on, I say, excuse me, sir, are you law enforcement? He goes, oh, I'm a state certified agent. You better figure it out real quick. Well, that's not a no, right? And then maybe he goes on to say something like, Metro State, look it up. You'll figure out who I am. And I say this because that's literally what he said to the guy who ended up being a sheriff's deputy or something. Worked in law enforcement. Wrong guy to say it to. That's what he said. He said, "I'm a state certified agent. Look up my company. You'll figure out what I am." That's not a no. That's not no. I'm a police officer. Here's a guy who looks like a police officer from 20 feet away. Even myself, being a police officer, I can't recognize that as not a police uniform. It looks legit. When there's that video where he's like, "Oh, I jumped out of Fallujah or whatever," or "I know my GS level. What's yours?" Uh, Even the local police were like, "Which department are you with?" Even they didn't know, right? You could say, "Well, I don't know what if he's a police officer or not, because I'm not from that area." The police officers in that area didn't know that if he was police or not. Come on, really? So, um, so there I am. I can't look up his website. I'm trying to drive through an intersection. So here I'm thinking, guy looks like a police officer. He didn't say he's not a police officer. He says he's a state certified agent. Sounds pretty official. I'm guessing he works for the state. I don't know. I'm going to assume he's a police officer and follow his orders, because if he is a police officer and I don't follow his orders, I can be legally in trouble, right? I'm legally obligated to follow the orders of a police officer who's directing traffic. Therefore, I will obey him, because I'm going to assume he's a police officer. That's what makes it impersonation. Wearing that uniform, not illegal. It's fine. Wear that uniform. But wearing that uniform while directing traffic and not telling people you're not a police officer, that's where the problem is. That's what I don't think it's going to be, because I think it can be easily argued that any reasonable person uh, would also question whether or not he's a police officer, and presumably would obey his orders under the assumption that there would be a consequence for not doing so. I think that's going to kick his ass in court. I really do. So, we need a jail informant. Yeah, we do. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like, does that breakdown make sense? I'm hoping it does, because it's a whole thing, man. Target carrying a purple gun. His badge. Oh, I contacted LA County and was like, "Is he allowed to use his badge?" They never got back to me. That was ages ago. But I mean, he's got service stripes. He has a unit patch. There's a flying wheel, which is a police symbol for like highway patrol. Often uses that. He has a badge somewhere on his body. I don't know. There's a military shooting medal, which the name of which escapes me at the moment, that he wears, which is odd, because he doesn't carry a weapon. And the nameplate. What else does he have on his uniform? The boots and the stripe on the side. LAPD carries it, or wears it as well. Good. I mean, he's designed his uniform to look like law enforcement. Now, he is smart enough not to put the word police on it. But still, the fact that you can't tell if he's a police officer or not, and that he's acting like a police officer, that's what's going to get him. Jake Villian, yeah. I'll be calling it a stream sometime. Probably not while I'm out here, because I'm just using my phone. And it can't do phone calls and live stream at the same time, but yes. Mm-hmm. Your police reserves report when Jeremy's duty belt had more equipment than we carried and was better quality. Well, I mean, it's Portland police. I've been to Portland. I've seen their police officers. Nah, they're just fine. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. Give me a second. Like a baby bird feeding. Mm. Yeah. Fun watching me eat, huh? It's like we're on a date. Will you guys grab some food? Eat across. Call it a date. Fine. This is what you do when you're dating, right? You just eat food from across the. It's weird, right? Like, hello, I'd like to meet you for the first time. Would you like to see me masticate? Now, hold on. Masticate means chew. All right? That's good, right? Hey, girl, you and me, let's masticate together. There's a pickup line I've never used. And probably never will. But someone go out, someone do that. Someone use it. Let me know. Let me know how that goes. Oh, I thought it was fun. No, more ghost videos. I'm sorry, I saw that and I didn't reply. I was in the middle of a rant. Yes, I will be doing more ghost videos. There are 2 locations I'm looking at right now. One is Western State Mental Hospital. Most of it's gone right now. It's an old hospital. It's now a public park that doesn't have closing hours, which means I can just go at night and not worry about it. There are buildings that are still up that are abandoned that are locked, so I might be able to get access to those. I think they still have some medical equipment, but the stuff that you can just walk around, the Eastern State Mental whatever, or sorry, Western State. Doesn't matter. Anyway, the place I'm trying to go, what's left was open to the public without special permissions. It used to be a farming facility that mental patients could work at as just something to do. And so a lot of that stuff is still there, and it's supposed to be haunted, and I'm going to go check it out. Yeah. The other place is the Iron Goat Trail. And on the Iron Goat Trail, there's the site of the worst avalanche in American history, the deadliest avalanche in American history. It derailed 2 trains, I think, killed like 108 people, something like that. So I want to go to that site on the actual anniversary. My back is just going nuts right now. On the actual anniversary of it, which is in the winter, so it's going to be very, very cold. But I'd like to go there on the anniversary of the incident and do a ghost hunt. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So those are the 2 places I'm looking at right now. And there are other places after that. But yes, in the interest of just going out and having fun, absolutely, I want to do that. How do I order my burger? This one is medium rare. Usually I do it medium because I don't usually order fancy burgers. But this one's a fancy burger. And I was like, you know what? I gotta. Yes, it's just charcoal. It's a Wagyu burger, actually. So I ordered a medium and went, hold on a second, this is a good burger. I'm embarrassed I even said that. They went, oh, it's all right, sir. Would you like it medium rare? I'm like, you got it, guys. The actual conversation. Oh, Buffalo Wild Wings is delicious. We can't blame for that. I bet JD has a separate uniform with police on it that he wears during his quiet moments alone. He's got a Halloween costume he uses. He just wears it around the house. He bought from Spirit of Halloween. Why I start eating? Because it came after I started the stream and I was hungry. And I figured you'd all forgive me. Anyway, I am going to end this stream, finish my burger. Got a couple things I need to do. But it's been a pleasure. You all are great. And I hope that the exciting news that I anticipate comes out soon. And we shall see. So, until the next time, be good, stay safe.